Did you know that an estimated 12.5 million Africans were forcibly displaced during the Transatlantic Slave Trade, with approximately 1.8 million of them dying during the brutal journey across the Atlantic? This staggering statistic underscores one of the most tragic chapters in human history. The transatlantic slave trade was not just a trade scheme. It was a devastating system that forcibly uprooted millions of lives from their homes and cultures. Spanning from the 16th to the 19th centuries, this horrendous practice involved the systematic kidnapping of Africans who were sold into slavery across the Americas. Families were torn apart, cultures were destroyed, and countless human lives were subjected to unimaginable suffering. The slave trade was a driving force behind the economic growth of several Western nations and greatly contributed to the development of regions in the Americas, where enslaved individuals were forced to work in plantations producing sugar, tobacco. The moral and ethical implications of the slave trade run deep. It involved the dehumanization of individuals, reducing them to mere commodities, and stripping them of their identities and basic human rights. Captured individuals were often subjected to horrific violence and degradation. The economic motivations were starkly clear. European traders and American plantation owners profited immensely from the exploitation of enslaved labor, often ignoring the profound moral issues at stake. This created a tradition of racism and inequality that has persisted across generations. Let's explore the stages of the transatlantic slave trade. The process started with the capture of Africans, often facilitated by rival tribes or local leaders who exchanged individuals for goods. These captives were then taken to coastal forts where they awaited transport. The Middle Passage refers to the next harrowing phase of the journey across the Atlantic Ocean, which could last anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months. Enslaved individuals were packed tightly into slave ships, enduring unspeakable conditions, cramped quarters, disease, and hardly any food or water. It's estimated that about 15% of enslaved Africans died during the Middle Passage due to these appalling conditions. Those who survived arrived in the Americas, where they faced a new life of forced labor, cultural dislocation, and often brutal treatment. Amidst this darkness, there were sparks of resistance that stand out in history. One pivotal moment was the Haitian Revolution from 1791 to 1804, where enslaved Africans successfully overthrew their oppressors and established Haiti as the first independent Black republic. This revolution served as an inspiration for enslaved people everywhere and a warning to slaveholders. In the United States, movements began to grow against slavery. Figures like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman became icons of the struggle for freedom, showcasing the indomitable spirit of those who opposed the brutal institution. Public sentiment shifted as the inherent injustice of slavery became increasingly evident. The legacy of the transatlantic slave trade is profound and enduring. Its repercussions are felt to this day in the forms of systemic racism, cultural disparities, and socioeconomic inequalities. Understanding this history is essential for addressing ongoing issues of injustice and discrimination in modern societies. The importance of remembering the transatlantic slave trade lies in recognizing the strength and resilience of those who suffered and fought for freedom. Their stories and struggles illuminate our path toward justice and equality today. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of one of the darkest chapters in human history. If you found this journey insightful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What stories or aspects of the transatlantic slave trade do you think are most important to remember? We'd love to hear your perspective as we continue to uncover the complexities of our shared history.